think one of the best intros is Sick.
So, hello, we are
Drunk.
we're drunk. A disclaimer, we know that this is very sad, what we're about to do, and it's very geeky, but we thought, what the hell? It was both our ideas. We are going to react to the episode Cash, the Young Ones episode Cash.
The whole episode?
The whole episode, yeah.
Fuck. Oh, I thought it just did. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Ah, who's that?
That's unprofessional.
That is super unprofessional.
There's like a sketch in this episode that we quite like that is easy to sort of gloss over. But, the more you sort of analyse it, the more amazing it becomes.
It makes no
to
sense.
Us, anyway. Yeah, it makes no sense. It's
No.
It's very random, which is typical of Young Ones sketches. They just pop up out of nowhere, but it's kind of one of our favourites now. So
Like just the first time you hear it, you think nothing of it, or otherwise you think it's amazing. But as he said, like the more when you get drunk and you start thinking about it and you start analysing it a bit more and break it down, it just becomes like it's just chaos. And we feel like it needs to be told.
it's a mess, yeah. Even in a sort of surreal situation, like the Young Ones often does surreal stuff. But even in that kind of situation, it's like your brain is trying to process it as if it happened in real life, and it's like it just becomes.
We're sorry, there's no need for this video.
No,
But
this video is pointless.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do it anyway. So this is. You'll know the sketch when we get to it because we'll stop and we'll analyse it in too much detail. But anyway, this is Cash, the Young Ones, unedited. It's not been hacked by the BBC.
Those fuckers, you know they cut out like 5 minutes. We watched this yesterday, didn't we? They got 5 whole minutes out of this fucking episode, including so like. I just don't even want to get into it.
It's like the opposite of preservation, isn't it? It's the opposite of preserving really good comedy. They've just hatchet job. Naughty BBC.
I'm not getting angry. It's fine.
So anyway, this is Cash.
I can't believe it was the whole episode. Oh, yeah, it's fucking cool.
I'm going to do a shot. Look at the shot.
Should we do a shot? Right.
So just to prove what we're getting from.
Oh. It's for people that want to know, it's Timmy. It's nice.
Glorious.
And a refill. Oh, fuck. Let's go.
Jesus Christ, we're going to be smashed. It's only 5 o'clock.
Yeah, more or less 5. But to be fair, we've been drinking since 12, so. And that's pretty much. Oh, shit. There it goes. Oh, wow. I almost kissed your mum. Not. What an episode. What an episode. Just everything disappearing in front of him.
You don't even hear anything. He's asleep reading the book.
Yeah, that can turn off too. Fuck this.
Sorry, Cliff.
Bastard!
That haircut as well. If you think about it, people have haircuts like that now because of Peaky Blinders. So this is like way ahead of its time by about 30 years.
It's unacceptable.
It's unacceptable. Where's the rest of the video player?
Why is he still holding that? Surely you'd be dropping it in fear, but no.
And for your burning the stair carpet, are you, Vivian? Well, perhaps I'm being terribly old-fashioned. Where'd you find all that firewood?
Bearing in mind, this is a rental house. This is a student house.
Yeah, exactly. It's destroying it.
Like, why isn't the landlord looking out for them?
Let's go for a celebration. Throw another record player on a fire.
Not another record player, yeah.
That's my record player! You said it was your record player. No, I didn't, Mike. I said let's throw Rick's record player on the fire. That'll be good for a laugh. Oh, yeah. That's right, yeah. It is yours, Rick. Yes, it is. I give it
Okay.
The state of that kitchen, Christ.
It's the cleanest it's ever been. considering
parents
there's
gave me that
lentils on the
record player
wall.
after my O-levels.
By the looks of it, you failed them all.
That's not true. I got a B for French, I got a C for divinity, and I got...
We're all completely broke, so we've got to make sacrifices. I myself have generously donated my used tissue collection. And Vivian has burnt everything near home.
Like it's a sacrifice. You have to burn everything.
Everything he owns.
Sounds like supper's ready.
It's snow.
Just nailing plates
to the table.
That's my recipe.
I don't seem to be able to nail the plates to the table without breaking them.
Nails aren't in the recipe.
I'm not cooking, Vivian. I'm just trying to nail the plates to the table.
Is it really necessary to nail the plates to the table? What happens when we want to play Monopoly? Go directly to plate. Do not pass plate. Nailed to the table by a stupid
hippie.
Guys, you don't understand.
Understand.
I've got something well scary to lay on you, okay? So, like, sit down.
Oh, it's squat.
What do you mean, sit
Just
down?
squat down.
Squat down. You expect us all to put our
Height
bottoms on
difference.
that
I think the
catch
height
all the
difference
diseases up
between Chris Pine and Nigel
It is rather
Player
important, actually.
Yeah, it must be a good
I
fit.
happen to be rather attached to my bottom.
different ends of
Well,
the
I've got a
spectrum.
couple of seats in my car.
All right, but we'll have to use them then.
No,
I mean,
they're attached.
They're attached.
I mean, you're sitting them while you're driving. I suppose I could drive the whole car in.
That makes sense.
Better idea. We'll go out there.
Aha!
No, wait, guys. What about my scary story?
Oh, yeah, that's a point. We won't be able to hear Neil from out there.
Well, you just have to make us a tape, Neil.
No, that's no good. My cassette's bust.
Or would you just have to come out there with us?
No good either. I've only got 2 seats.
You'll go in the boot.
No, Neil. Because if you so much as touch my car, I'm going to kill you.
Oh yeah.
Neil. Yeah? Oh, yeah, great idea, mate. Hey, guys. Look, I've got something well scary to lay on you, okay? So,
So what? Boom, like.
squat
Yeah,
down.
I think the boom might kick.
Squatting, like on self-control.
Squat down.
Now, listen.
Take that, Margaret.
Neil, is it my imagination or is this table shrunk? That's what I've been trying to
Yeah,
tell
but
you for
how?
the last 10 minutes, right? Strange
Takes a
thing.
bit
If
off.
it's Vivian taking everything, how did that happen?
Just take the, why does it take a bit off at a time as well? Gradually lowering the table.
The table is shrinking.
It's perfectly level as well and use a chainsaw.
And he's now admitting, like, yeah, I did
Yeah,
that.
that's
No,
right.
you didn't. You were just talking. I've seen you in this shot the whole time. Yeah.
Do you know what
It
this means?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
It means we've got a poltergeist.
Don't be stupid, Neil. There's no such thing.
Mr. Spasmo Neil. No, there's no ghosts, there's no God. There's a perfectly rational explanation for any kind of phenomena you might encounter. Oh, yeah, well, how do you explain the table shrinking then?
Well, I did that actually.
I mean, you don't just get, yeah, exactly, straight through, no issues. Look, how does this work? Like, if this is what he's been doing the whole time,
The noise as well.
how was he doing it? I'm not even going to analyse it, it's just stupid.
That's Franton! How's that done then?
Yeah, you see, I was right.
I've just nailed my
It's
legs
the
to the table.
poltergeist that's making him food. Get a priest! Get a vicar! I believe in God!
Never mind a priest, call an ambulance. Why, Mike? I've just nailed my legs to the table.
I said, God, please.
There's a panda. I never
Yeah,
noticed
oh,
that.
brilliant. Oh, that was shame.
Why wouldn't it be?
Bacon wrote all of Shakespeare's
Yeah, because they did have a panda on the stairs, didn't they?
Which bit of bacon?
He did?
I think it's later in the episode. I think it's later in the series.
Look, I'm
Yeah,
not
it's the one with the
prepared to discuss it.
vampire.
All I'm saying is they found a
Someone
manuscript
runs
in the back of the
downstairs and
bacon.
kicks the panda.
Codpiece face.
As you do.
I said codpiece face. What did you say?
I said,
I said
codpiece
codpiece face.
What did you say?
I said
Huh?
codpiece face. What did you say? I said codpiece face.
Yeah, that's a
What did
point.
you say? I said you've got
Shit,
codpiece
Oh
face.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Sod it.
Ah, I'll be alright. Go over the top.
Ah, sorry.
Kick his teeth in. Kick it. Oh, my foot!
Think once. Think twice.
I love the like his hairline. His hairline's ridiculous.
On a busy Saturday morning.
It's like another.
Say, for
It's like an
instance,
alien race. Or
that this huge meringue filled with whipped cream.
I imagine this was a genuine advert.
it's based on a real advert.
Enormous, soggy,
Think once,
overripe
think
tomato
twice, think don't
with
drive
a
your car.
tiny little girl.
Yeah, but the geezer gets a full hammer.
What a dangerous place our exciting new world is. And let's assume that this cling film parcel of mashed banana and jam is a deaf senior citizen.
He's blind.
And this
Cricket bat.
That's it, cricket bat.
breeze.
So excessive.
Now what happens if your car mounts the pavement? Think once. Think twice. Think don't drive your car on the pavement.
Get me off this woman's lap before she farts again. No, that's a goldfish bowl.
I love these two. Like whatever sketches they're in, they're so good.
Before this woman farts.
When they're the coppers as well.
Yeah, when they're on the roof, when they're trying to get into the party as well. Hello, my name's Philip.
And this is
Torquil.
Yeah, Torquil. You know what was it?
Do
That
what?
Keith? Arby's
I'm
dad.
his dad. I'm his uncle.
Yeah, I'm his uncle
Uncle
too.
of who? Oh, yeah.
Nice day.
Do what? Straddle.
I mean, if you like snow and they really cold,
We moved for some considerable time now that he don't exist.
What?
What?
I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you later.
could I borrow
A cup of sugar.
Watch your teeth, you know.
Yeah, what's your teeth, you know?
Yeah.
It's weird. I think this is the only time they show a neighbour, isn't it?
Genuinely, yeah. And that happens to be Vivian's mum, doesn't it?
What is?
I could have some light cut specs.
That's the same woman, huh? Same actress.
No, she's way younger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Sorry, it's the glare. Right.
She's familiar.
Rick. No, I'm bloody not. Why can't you use Vivian as a chair? He burned it all. Because I've been out gathering winter fuel, haven't I? Look, boys, I've got another one. Oh, nice one, Vic.
Jesus.
What a waste of time.
Guys, I think I've solved
Ceramic doesn't even burn, does it?
I'm writing to my bank manager.
Oh, this scene. This scene. Darling bank manager.
Bank manager.
Darling fascist.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah?
Give us some more money, you bastard. Made a scene of your loin. Quite leave your woman.
I don't know the dear. Sounds a bit too much like, will you go to bed with me?
Oh yeah, good point, Finny.
What do you think instead? What about darling? Darling bank manager. No, not bank manager. It's far too crawly bum leg. Tell it like it is. Put fascist bully boy. Darling fascist bully boy. That's it. So far, so good. So what do you want to say? Well, basically, I want to ask him if I can have like an extension on my overdrive. But I know
Give me
nothing
some more
about
money.
Well, what about give me some more money? You bastard! That's a bit strong.
A bit strong.
Yeah, you're right. Darling,
Think of the amount of people that must have written letters to their bank manager with this exact.
Just throwing it out there. The
Yeah.
amount of spam mail.
Just thought, sorry, I'm going to send a message just like this.
Come and get it like a big funky sex machine.
Boom, Shanker.
Yeah, you're right. What about yours sincerely? Oh, come off it, Dale. You're gonna be that sycophantic when you go around there now and stick your tongue straight down the back of his trousers. I know. Why not put boom shanker? That's hard to tell you. What does it mean? It means may the seed of your loin be fruitful in the belly of your woman.
His
what
beard.
makes you think your bank manager's a man? His beard. You'll never understand boom shanker. You'll have to write the whole thing out. Right, okay, here we go. Darling fascist bully boy, give me some more money, you bastard. May the seed of your loin be fruitful in the belly of your woman. Neil.
What a letter.
If that doesn't work, I don't know what will.
And they burn it.
Trouble is, we're running low on fuel. Good. Chuck it on the fire.
It's like a second extra heat.
It's snow.
I'm so hungry I could eat my own earwax. And we all know how horrid that tastes. Right, kids? Did we burn the sofa? Yeah, afraid so, Viv. I thought we did.
Right, here it is, okay? Eat it up quickly, okay? What's this? It's risotto, Mike.
It's snow, isn't it, Neil?
What was that random car?
That was a skier, I think.
Skier that.
A skier. So like it's like subliminal advertising. There's like in every episode there's like a flash image.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I've always wondered what that was. Why did they do that?
I don't know why they did that. It must have just been the editor having a bit of fun. But there's like a tap in one and like a bird in one. Bizarre. It's cool though. It's like the first series where you had that character with the long hair that's just sitting.
Oh, he hides everywhere, doesn't he?
Was it they
Yeah.
call it the fifth
fifth member.
tenant?
Yeah. He's literally everywhere. Like he's by the fire. He's in the sofa. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
but he just
creepy.
turns up once in each episode. It's like it must be another housemate. They just never mention. Bizarre.
Fuck is going on now?
Just fish, please.
Without just.
Now look, this is my body, that one there is yours. It's rubbish. You're only saying that because this one's got a nice bottom. Because that bum's got no rhythm. Believe this. You are cynically exploiting the fact that we've been beheaded so you can grab yourself a nicer bottom. For Sue's sake, look, this is my bottom. Forget it, we'll split the bottom. Well, right down the middle. Sensitive. I am not. I just don't see why it has to be me who gets the job. Well, it can't be me. I lead an alternative lifestyle.
That's a pretty good wig, I always thought, that Neil's got. Does
It
look
took
like
me
it's real
years
hair.
to realise that was genuinely not hair.
Yeah, it's pretty convincing.
Yeah. In fact, it upsets me when I see him when he's got short hair.
Yeah,
It's weird.
yeah, because he's got the side bit.
Yeah.
But that must be fake as well. But it's quite
Oh no, it's literally hair netting. Because his genuine hair is like brown. It goes around there.
Oh, I thought he was shaved. I thought it was like shaved hair.
It's where you can have a gun. Yes, well, you see, that's me out, you see. Perfect dear drum.
Really? Yeah, me too.
Pardon? Flat feet.
Well, that just leaves Neil then.
You'd think that Vivian would be a police officer, like the way he is.
The ideal.
Well,
And he's fucking pregnant.
since you come to mention it, there's something I've been willing to tell all of you for some time. I went to see the doctor today, and, well, I think I'm pregnant.
What?
I'm going to have a baby.
That's impossible.
No, that's what she said. You just can't trust women, can you?
How did it happen? Oh, come on, Rick, how old are you?
That's rather a personal question, isn't it? Didn't your mother ever tell you about the birds and the bees?
Mine did, but I didn't believe her. Well, I mean, what if the bird got stung like halfway through? Well, I mean, there's a big size difference. Ostriches are really big.
He's only just told him he's pregnant. And the contractions and stuff.
He's holding his arsehole as well. Like, when you think about this for a minute, like,
Where's the baby gonna
what the fuck is going on?
Sit down,
And the fact that he's faking it, like he's just saying, "Oh yeah, I can't get a job because I'm pregnant." He's really going to town on it.
We've got to buy some furniture for Vivian, quickly! We can't! We haven't got any money! Vivian's baby will be a pauper! Oliver Twist! Jeffrey Dickens! Back to Victorian values! I hope you're satisfied, Thatcher!
Okay, here it comes.
Very quickly! Alright, there's only one thing for it now. You're right. I've got to join the
Is
army.
this pretty much it now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right, so
Jesus Christ.
I
This
was originally going to
geezer
pause
right
this
here.
and rewind several times just to go through various things, but because we're basically having to record this video separately, because we can't record anyway, I won't explain in detail why we can't show us and the video at the same time. I have to do the video separately. If I pause this and rewind it several times, it would be a nightmare trying to sync it all up. So
Yeah, logistically.
we'll show it, then I'll pause it, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll carry on.
So you're going to show it first.
And I should be able to, I should be able to sync that up. But doing it several times and going backwards and forwards would be a nightmare.
Look at his little face.
So we'll play this sketch, and then we're going to talk about it in detail. So enjoy.
Oh,
For
no.
God's sake. Fucking disc.
I've just been round my neighbour's house to borrow a drill, but he wasn't in. So I broke in and ate his fish tank, and I wasn't even hungry. You won't catch me with me trousers.
Honestly, arguably the best scene that you could have in TV.
I mean, it's over in seconds.
There's no need
gonna-
for
I
it.
think we're
Like,
gonna
there's
have to
so
try and
much to
rewind it.
unpack there.
We're going to have to try and rewind it, I think.
You think
Even
to
though it's gonna
yourself,
be a night-
okay, there's a couple of seconds, what are you guys thinking? But there really is a lot to unpack there.
Even though it's going to be a nightmare to edit this, I think we're going to have to go back. Because I just want to go through each statement in turn.
Each statement, each laugh, each like facial expression, because
Yeah.
it just gets worse and worse to the point where you think, really?
Because like if you're watching this for the first time, that would be gone. You'd be straight back into the action, and you'd forget about it.
Yeah, you'd be looking
But
at
once
the
you
plot.
actually analyse and think about what's going on here,
It really is a lot to unpack. Forget the storyline, forget the young ones, forget everything in its entirety. Imagine the entire storyline based around that one sketch.
Right, so let's go through this bit by
Alright,
bit.
there's only one thing for it now. You're right. I've got to join the army before Vivian has a baby.
Obviously, forget
Right, so just
Forget
pushes
that.
his way in.
Now, there he is. Right.
Now
From
that
that
laugh,
point-
if you were walking down a dark alleyway, like say 1 a.m. after you'd been out drinking or something, and you heard that, you would be absolutely fucking terrified.
You would be. But the fact that, like, he's obviously started the conversation in his head.
Who's he talking to? For a
Exactly. Like, he started a conversation and he's found it funny enough to portray a laugh because he's found that bit funny, and he's like, here we go, I'm going to. Like, if you can see the look on his face, like he's very enthusiastic about what he wants to talk about. Like this is what I've done, and it's hilarious. Are you ready? Let's go.
Okay, so he opens up with that laugh, like that's unhinged right from the get.
There's a lot to take in there.
I've just been round my neighbour's house to borrow a drill.
Right, now that's fair enough.
Yeah,
That's
you
logical.
can get around
He's been
that.
round his neighbour's house to borrow a drill.
Yeah, it seems logical.
Which
you
you
think
would
he's going to
do.
knock on his door? That's
you haven't got a
fine. He looks pretty, upbeat about it as well.
Yeah.
A bit contorted, but
If you
he's.
haven't got a drill and you go around your neighbour's house to borrow one, that's logical.
That's exactly what you need right at this
Okay,
moment.
so that's fine. We're okay with that.
But he wasn't in.
Right. Okay.
That to me is the best part about it, because he wasn't in.
That's hilarious.
That's genuinely hilarious. Like, why? Why is that funny? What sparked the point of, okay, that's funny, I'm going to just laugh about it. And in a totally maniacal way.
Why? Yeah, that's the biggest question out of this whole sequence is why is it so funny that he went round to bother drill and the guy wasn't in?
Even if he's got a sinister plan, like, okay, I'm going to laugh about it, but if he wasn't a sinister plan, he genuinely finds that funny.
Oh Oh god, I mean the psychology of this character would just be absolutely fascinating.
Notice how he's got no shirt on.
Now we're going to talk about
We will
that
come
afterwards.
to that.
We'll talk about
There
that.
he is,
But he's gone round his neighbour's house to borrow a drill.
and he wasn't in.
That's his story, and
So
he wasn't in, which is hilarious.
He finds that funny.
So, whoa!
Okay, so we're going to commit a crime. Like his thought process was, well, he's not in, so I need to get this drill ASAP.
Yeah, that's the logical solution. If your neighbour's not in and you want to borrow his drill, you break into his house.
Yeah, not that I'll come back later or leave a note or ask. I'm just gonna
Go
break
to someone
in.
else to borrow a drill, or you can go buy a drill.
No, it's that specific drill that I want. I'm gonna break in.
Yeah, so he's broken into his house now. Okay.
Well, there we go again. Like, what the fuck? Let's unpack that for a minute. I ate his fish tank. There's a sentence that, first of all,
that you can put that on a t-shirt.
as a writer, what the fuck are you thinking too? Like, how do you eat a fish tank?
Like from A to B, like
that's not even A to B. That's A to Z.
That's another alphabet altogether.
That's not even. I've just given up on Z. I'm gonna go that way.
I'm gonna go the Greek alphabet.
What about the contents of the fish tank? Did he eat the contents as well? Or
there-
did he just eat?
Was there water in it? Was there fish in it? Was there gravel?
Did he the filter, the little ornaments that go with it? You know, the little chest. No,
Ate his fish tank.
just
in
a
its
whole
entirety.
fish tank. So this geezer's going to come home after a long day's work. Blah blah blah. Realise that his door's probably been kicked open and his fish tank is now gone. And as you can see from his face, he looks pretty up. He's upbeat about it. Like he's happy about it. He's alive. His teeth are all.
Whether the tank was made from plastic or glass, he survived it. He's still living.
I mean, he ate a fish tank.
So that's his reaction. So like, the neighbour wasn't in. So
he
again, we've said what the normal reactions would be. You go to someone else to get a drill, or you just come back later.
And go B&Q.
His reaction is he breaks into his house and eats his fish tank.
But why? That seems like a consequence of not being in. Like it's almost like
it's like he's punishing him.
Yeah, like okay, you're not in, so I'm going to break into your house. That's
Eat your
punishment.
fish
Eat your entire fish tank. Like okay,
It's his fish tank. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
all right.
I mean, that's Jesus Christ. So let's carry on.
I wasn't even hungry.
So on top of this, he wasn't even hungry. So it's not like he was still
forced himself to eat it, basically.
Yeah, it's not like he just thought, oh, I'm going to have a little bit of a chocolate here. No, I'm going to eat an entire fish tank.
But I'm not hungry.
But I'm not, and then I'm going to laugh about it, like the maniacal laugh, because that's funny as well.
You won't catch me with me trousers.
Okay, so again, very awkwardly, he finishes his sentence off.
That was a threat as well. You're not going to catch me with my trousers.
That's just like basically saying,
you're not going to catch me. You're not going to catch me with my trousers.
that's like his calling card.
Yeah, so you might catch him. The police might catch him if they were caught.
But they will
Presumably
certainly not
they would be
catch him
caught.
for this
So they're not going to go with his trousers on. And if you think back, he's not wearing. So
Any
we'll talk
shirt.
about that now. He's not wearing a shirt. He says we're not going to catch him with his trousers.
So we'd like to say that he's
That's
talking
like-
this
at
entire
most,
segment as
underwear
naked.
and socks. So he's gone round his neighbour's house in his underwear and socks, or completely bollock naked, asking to borrow a drill.
Or he's come in fully clothed, noticed that the neighbour's not in, and thought, okay, this is where I'm going to go. I'm now going to take my clothes off and break in. I'm going to eat your fish tank.
And take my trousers off.
I mean, does he take them home with him? Does he leave them as evidence? But you basically, the fundamental part of this is you will not catch him with his trousers.
So imagine if this was like the police interview.
Can you imagine that on Crime Watch? Man wanted for burgling and eating a fish tank. Left behind his trousers.
Let's imagine that the police are interviewing him now. Like they've caught him and they've just asked him, okay, we've had a complaint. We know that it was you that did it, so we want to hear your side of the story. Okay.
And that was
So
his
let's-
alibi.
Yeah, so let's imagine that this is now his explanation for what happened.
Can you imagine that going before a judge as well? Like, okay, this is his defence.
Okay, yeah. So this.
You're right.
Oh,
I've got to join the army before
Oh dear.
what's going on here?
So this is his excuse. This is his testimony. And he
I love the
lied.
maniacal laugh just before, like he's obviously thought.
follow its will. But he wasn't in. Broke in and ate his fish tank. And I wasn't even hungry.
He's obviously jumpy as well. Like he's on the move. It's like he's just found this camera, ready to sort of say his piece before he
While
goes
he's
and
on the run.
disappears. Yeah.
Yeah. But he is the That's the Joker, though. That's exactly the sort of way the
Clearly.
Joker would behave.
Honestly,
Put
I
the
feel
clown
like
makeup on him.
Yeah.
That would be the Joker.
it's the guy who's just done the Batman film, Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves needs to clock this guy up. Okay, forget William Shatner, forget Barry Keoghan. There's your man.
Shatner.
Oh, William Shatner. Oh, sorry.
Shatner.
Who's the guy who's played Green Goblin? William Dafoe.
Yeah.
Apologies all. I don't know what I've got about William Shatner. It just seems to be my.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting Joker.
Can you imagine just this fat guy going, yeah.
I've got you this time. Batman. God!
It just would not work.
Don't you know how to laugh?
Oh man, God bless William Shatner, but no.
He's in his 90s.
Just
now,
never
isn't he?
do
Late 80s.
anything again. Stick to whatever you do
Stick
now.
to Tech Wars. That was
Stick to
amazing.
your Tech Wars and your Blaze TV, where you go and talk about the supernatural, which is basically
I've never seen that.
stars. Yeah, he's on Blaze TV, just talking about stars.
Ah, we'll have to do a. Have you seen his Rocket Man video where he sings Rocket?
No.
We'll have to do a reaction to that.
Oh,
That is
Lord.
just legendary. Anyway, let's carry on. Otherwise, we'll be watching this video. all
Sorry,
day.
apologies. Yeah, let's go back to our man.
Yeah, so he's,
As you can see-
he's either naked or half naked. He's
He's
gone
on the
round his
run.
neighbour's house to borrow a drill. Well, he wasn't on the run to begin with. Well, he might have been. But he went round his neighbour's house to borrow a drill. His neighbour wasn't
Decided-
in, which, to be honest, if you were his neighbour, you'd be pretty thankful you weren't in.
Yeah, that'd be the end of
You
that
lost the
segment.
fish tank, but
Just-
fuck it. That's the worst that's happened.
Most people kind of think, that's the end of that. Okay, you're not in. Okay, I'll just move on. I'll come back later.
Come
No,
back later, rationally,
Decides
no.
I'm
He
gonna
breaks
break
in, eats an entire fish tank and all its content,
I mean,
and then just goes on the run.
even that part, just the thought part about it, be like, okay, I'm gonna break
So he
in.
broke
I'm not,
in and ate
he
his
doesn't
fish
even go
tank.
for the drill. You don't know if he takes the drill or takes what he needs.
Yeah, he doesn't mention the drill.
There's no
It's like he
burglary.
forgot about it.
It's just like, okay, that seems to be the first thing I
It
see.
annoyed him so much that his neighbour wasn't in that he just wanted revenge.
So he
He
broke
broke
in.
in and ate his fish
Ate
tank.
the fish
That's an
tank.
act of revenge. And even though it's so bizarre, it's obviously an act of revenge.
Was it glass? Was it plastic? Was it one of those shitty little ones that you get, from
Not
a
a fish
fair-
bowl either, a fish tank.
A fish tank. So to me, a tank.
It's got to
200
have some
quid's
kind
worth.
of pump with it.
It's got to have the pump. It's got to have the plastic frame. It's got to be
He's
full on
probably
glass.
chewing on that like licorice, like the wire and stuff.
I mean, the time it took as well.
The time it would take to eat it.
A whole fish tank.
The effect it would have on his digestive system.
Like he'd be just like blood everywhere, but no, it's fine.
Oh,
We're
he
just gonna
managed
eat
it
this.
somehow.
Just swallow it whole. Bit like the Mother Hubbard, wasn't it? Was it Mother Hubbard? Like, I know a woman who swallowed a horse. She's dead, of course. Imagine that.
No,
Like,
I
just
don't think we ever found out what her name was.
whoever it
She
was,
swallowed
she
a fly and then she swallowed a spider that ate the fly.
gets to a point where she swallowed a horse. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
which
really?
is definitely a thing.
It's just not a thing. But, and I like the fact that we actually got to a point where she addressed that. Yeah, she's actually dead. Like, we're not just
Yeah.
going to take that on board.
Okay,
Like,
well,
oh,
at
yeah,
least-
she's fine.
At least they acknowledge that that's going to kill you.
But this geezer ate a whole fish tank and he was fine. In fact, he was so fine that he managed to come back and enjoy himself.
Laugh about it.
Yeah, and tell you about his past.
Which laughing,
endeavours.
if you had glass in your system, laughing would just make things worse.
I mean, it's not like he had a bad vindaloo and a curry. And he's like, okay, and I had a good night out front. Last weekend I did this. No,
I had
I
a
just
really bad
broke in.
fish tank last night. Oh,
Yeah.
the glass is playing havoc.
Yeah, that beer did not go
Still
down
like
well.
glass this morning.
Christ, I've been shitting glass all week. No. It's literally last night I ate his fish tank. Here I am, ready to go.
You won't catch me with me trousers.
And that's the other bit. Like, he's so awkward the way he says it. It's like he's almost hasn't finished his sentence. Like, he's got more to say. But the camera's sort of panned away.
He hasn't got enough time.
But he's ready to sort of like, I've got more
Yeah,
to
and he's
that's
laughing.
the end
Yeah,
of
but the
it.
camera's go. Oh. To be honest, though, we could have taken everything he said. I mean, if he had gone on for like 2 or 3 hours, then just bring it on.
Every syllable. I mean,
It's
the man
just
should be in
gold.
Parliament. Can you imagine him? Like, none of this scandal about, you know, Boris doing this. About the man at
He'd
glass.
have been the first one from this country to the Ukraine fighting. Not because he believed in anything, just because he wanted to have a go.
The chief
And
negotiator.
he'd have been
with Putin.
naked as well.
Yeah.
He'd just been carrying like the UK flag naked, saying, "Where are your fish?" I'm going to eat every single Russian fish tank.
Ukraine
I'm not
gets
even
fish
hungry.
tanks.
No, he would just have a tattoo, like not even hungry, on his chest. Because he wouldn't want to wear a t-shirt because it would mean he'd have to wear clothes.
The war cry that they hear was
Yeah, and the
it'd
Russian
be the
army
most
would just
haunting
flee.
thing ever. Their tanks would just go.
terrified.
He'd see a tank and think, "Oh, fish tank, that'll do. I'm just eating a whole tank."
I'll eat that. It's technically a tank. Just devouring through them
Submarine, oh, that's a water tank, that'll do.
like a piranha.
And as you can see from Rick here, the amount of cigarettes he's fucking smoking, that will obviously be how the Russians see it. You know, Putin would be sitting there
Fucking hell, they've
shitting
sent
bricks.
him. They've sent Trousers Man after us.
Oh, God almighty.
Jesus. Anyway, that said, let's
That's
carry
that
on.
segment.
I'm going to enjoy editing this. This is going to be a nightmare.
Should we have a shot?
Oh, Jesus.
Where's,
You sure?
Yeah, where's your shot? I think I've actually
Hang on, Bill.
we finished this. This is nice.
Oh,
We're gonna have to do the rest. We've got more, haven't we?
We're very pissed. I mean, that's an issue.
Well, I'll find more. It's gonna be good. Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Mm.
By the way, this isn't acting. This is genuinely pissed. Oh!
Yeah, we started this at 5. It's now
Oh, this is nasty.
It's now many minutes past 5.
Ah.
35 minutes. Yeah,
I don't know what viewers are going to get out of this, to be honest.
none. There's gonna be 3 viewers. There's gonna be you watching it.
Me, you, one random person that comes across it by accident. Maybe a family member out of sympathy. Well, one each. Right, let's carry on.
Oh, all those hands.
Rick, that's the 100th time you've asked me. Yes, I know. Every time I ask you, you don't tell me which time you're gonna watch. I've got to watch. I'm just not very good at telling the time yet.
Christ, those cigarettes.
Well, the small lane's on the corner.
Look
I love the fact that there's
taller
still
he is
milk
than
in
this.
this.
What?
I hate it.
Like, obviously, Vivian's still pregnant.
Not finished.
They're going with
Yeah,
it.
he's not
But
bothered. He was in
he was-
contractions before.
staying there.
Oh, it's like the Human League.
Still half fashionable.
It's like Phil
What are
Oakey.
you talking
Half
about?
fashionable.
150% fashionable. The army can't say no to this suit.
Jesus Christ.
Dapper.
Let me hire it. It's somewhere on the stack, sir. Come on. The recruiting office closes in 1 hour, Jack. Come on. Don't tell them you're a pacifist.
I had this conversation with him last night.
Pause it.
Obviously, we don't care about this. The main segment we wanted was the dude laughing about his shit. But we're going to talk about this anyway. Why? This is Squeeze, right?
No, it's a group, I think, that was set up just for this episode. I'll have to research it, but
But it's Jools
it's Jools Holland,
Okay.
yeah. There's Roland Rivron, and there's various other people, I think, from various bands. But they bill it as I can't remember what they call the band.
See, I was.
But I think it's a one-off.
Squeeze.
No,
Okay,
it's not.
that's
there
fine.
may be people from Squeeze in it, but it's not Squeeze.
Now, Squeeze as a band, okay? Like, you take their concept and their band, and then they just do their thing, right? So you've got Jools Holland on piano, and you've got the rest of it. So, like, Jools Holland somehow broke away from the band. Not only did he break away from the band, like, you look at Jools Holland now, he's got his own show.
Is it still going though? Or just on New Year's Eve?
Possibly. I'm not too sure. But the fact
Never
is,
the hootenanny.
the dude, it's like, you know, imagine The Who and then Roger Daltrey, or even Keith Moon lived and got away from the band and suddenly got his own show. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. Like, why was he so famous? So, again, he must have been famous enough to be in this segment. Like, what's going on?
I can't remember. I don't remember Jools Holland being a massive name.
What
ever.
suddenly just took off to suddenly say, oh, yeah, here's
I
Jools
think-
Holland.
But I think what it is, I think he must have known either the people in this, the actors or the director, or whatever.
Oh, you reckon?
Because
Okay.
him, Roland Rivron, and there's another guy as well. I don't know his name, but it's kind of like a collective. So maybe the Jools Holland went to university with Rick Mayall and Adrian Edmondson, or the director.
Really? That's quite.
It's possible.
Strange.
No, I'm not saying it is, but there's definitely some sort of group going on here, like the same university. Maybe not the same year, but the same university.
He's definitely in the same circle as them.
In order to I think he is, yeah, because he's done stuff. Not him, but Roland Rivron and this other guy did stuff with French and Saunders, who were also connected to obviously Adrian Edmondson.
Yeah, for marriage and stuff.
Marriage.
Of course,
so I think it's more a sort of group of friends.
Oh, okay.
fellow
So
students.
maybe they just kind of came that way and thought, okay, he's famous enough to be his own personality.
Yeah.
Let's do a bit like James Corden, but no one likes that fat fuck. So
I can't think of anyone who likes James Corden.
No, I
Have
mean
you seen the Limmy videos?
the what?
You know, Limmy, he's like a Scottish comedian. Oh, I'll have to show the link. But
No.
he-
The
he's
last thing I
basically
saw was that he decided to leave the Late Late Show, and I
No,
think
and no one cared.
yeah, I
Well,
think
no,
the world
everyone
was okay
happy.
with that about it.
Yeah, everyone's quite happy, but they just don't want him to do anything else.
I'm totally like. Don't get me wrong. I'm okay with James Corden when he wants to do like his Gavin and Stacey stuff. Like I think the
No, I never
last
watched
game.
that.
I never watched it either, but I watched the Gavin and Stacey show. What was it? The last Christmas special when he sort of was like, "Do you want me to step into Christmas?" Like I thought that was okay. In that premise, but realistically, James Corden he's like Play-Doh. You just want to roll him up and put him away. You never want to hear or see from him again. You may be different, but realistically,
I don't like him, but I wouldn't go that far.
he's like he's like the dough of the pizza that you roll off. Okay, like you don't want to deal with that. Oh shit.
Personally, I think there's a nice person inside James Corden wanting to get out. It's just there's a big thick crust of James Corden that it can't get through.
Oh fuck that fat fuck! He's like the Earth. Okay, you can say that about the Earth. There's a nice bit of Earth, but we suddenly got this oral magma crust, and if you shave that away,
there's too
there
much
he is.
celebrity around him. He needs to get rid of the celebrity and be human, but he just can't. And
The
he's
problem
annoying.
is, like, he's just
very
too
annoying.
likable. He's so annoying, but he's
There's
too
nothing
likable.
likable about him.
Yeah,
It's
but he does his
likeable.
carpool karaoke. And,
Which isn't even genuine because he's on a trailer. He's not actually driving.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I think
Someone
I
said a while back that it's completely fake. He's not actually driving.
What a fat wanker. See? Go away. Go away.
I don't wish any. I mean, while I don't wish him any harm, I don't wish him any good either. What I mean is, I think he should go away and enjoy life. He must have loads of money.
Yes.
I just don't want to hear from him again.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't wish any harm on him. I just don't want to hear
Don't
from him
want-
ever again.
I don't want him to say like
Why is he-
suddenly he's got cancer, but I also don't.
No, I don't wish any harm on him.
I just don't want him to be alive or around anymore.
What do you mean alive? That means you want him dead. You mean they just pick him up and put him on Mars and disconnect any communication?
If he just like completely disintegrated and was never heard from again, the world would be alright with it. There'd be a couple of people that kind of go, do you remember where James Corden was? And no one would have that conversation of like, it's just something, it's a bit like, the Roswell. Just no one would talk about
Well, it
it.
would turn out like the Holocaust. There'd be James Corden deniers, and then there'd be the people trying to make out that James Corden actually existed and saying, no.
And then there'd be people on trial that got that done for his murder when they clearly didn't happen. He just dissipated.
Dissipated. And there'd be fights in the playground over people who say that James Corden actually happened. And
Your mum's James Corden. You fucking what? Like.
You still think that James Corden was real? He was real. Don't be stupid.
I mean,
How would
fucking
that- how
hell.
would that
Buddy
fucking-
Holly's got more of a fucking, like, legend than he... Oh, let's just all agree. James Corden just needs to just go away.
Yeah, I don't hate him. Well,
Silently go away.
arguably.
Like Bambi's mum.
I don't wish any harm to him, but I just want him to go away.
Yeah. He just
He's-
doesn't need to
no,
be shot. Doesn't
He
need
can
to
live
be...
his best life. He can be absolutely deliriously happy for the rest of his life.
He can
for all
sit
I
there
care.
on
I
that
don't mind
make-believe desert island that's got Kurt Cobain and Elvis and Eddie Van Halen on there.
They're
you know.
dead.
Exactly, that's my point. The make-believe island that everyone believes in.
Well, no, send him onto a real desert island on his own.
Or just send him into fucking space and send him as like man pops like a It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. We're having a good time.
Anyway, this isn't a video about James Corden. Well, it kind of is now. But...
That fat fuck. Who's
So-
this anyway?
I don't know his name.
It's
If I can be fucked, I'll find out and I'll put it on screen when I'm doing the editing.
So what we learned from this
It's not
is
really
this
important.
wasn't Squeeze, because I always thought he was.
No, I don't think he's in Squeeze. I know Roland Riveron definitely
I
wasn't.
fuck all about
So
Squeeze.
what I like about this song is
Look at him.
it's Subterranean Homesick Blues by Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan?
Wait,
Yeah.
this is a Bob Dylan song.
Yeah, this is Bob Dylan's
Oh,
Subterranean
see,
Homesick
he's another cunt that needs to go away. Sorry, that's a whole different side. Little guns are. Him and James Corden can live on
And
a
they
line.
did a great thing on the Day Today with Bob Dylan where they did George Formby doing Subterranean Homesick Blues, which is the same as this on the Rock TV. But we'll do that another day. But I quite like this, and my favourite bit is when Vivian is like pissing over the wall and zips up, and when he moves away, there's a guy just sat there singing.
Just head first, like, yeah, I've just had that in my
I'll
face.
just do my. Now I'm going to sing my section. That's a great.
As you're about to
great
see.
touch.
Yeah.
So let's carry on, and if I'm talking to me in the future doing the editing, it's about to start again now. Good luck, mate.
See, there's that cunt.
It's that gut.
For a piano player that's supposed to sit there just doing piano, what the fuck is he doing?
He's conducting.
There he is. Very metal, just I'm having a piss. Oh man.
So casually, so nothing's happened.
It's cool, yeah, I just took a fucking piss.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, it's,
It's slow filming.
fuck off, Jools Holland. We all love you. We all love you to have your own
Shit, sorry.
show. But, fuck off.
Oh god, the editing this is just going to be such
It's
a
awful.
nightmare.
I feel for you.
Okay, I was going to rewind. I thought that they had a sign saying slow
these
filming. Hey, Roland Riveron keeps cracking up.
Who's Rome River?
Roland Riveron, him.
What's a
You
Rome
see,
River?
he hasn't really done much. He turned up in a lot of Jonathan Ross stuff. He doesn't. I don't know what he does, to be honest.
So he turned up in one Jonathan Ross thing, and
A
suddenly
few
he's got his
Jonathan Ross
own.
things and this, and he's I don't know what his contribution is to anything, but he must have gone to university or something.
So what we learnt was he's an utter cunt who'd done nothing, yet he's
I'm
celebrating.
not saying he's an utter cunt.
I'm gonna. He sounds like
He
an utter
might
cunt.
be, but
He's done fuck all.
I wonder where this was filmed. I wonder if this is Bristol, the same as the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough sell. You can't really say, but like.
But the house was in Bristol, wasn't it? The actual young one's house. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
still
that's
there.
right. Yeah.
It'd be nice to go there actually if it's still there.
In you go. Now, see what we love about the young ones, which is what the BBC seem to hate about the young ones, is Alexi Sale.
I love Alexis Sale.
They just seem to cut him out of
Yeah.
everything. We were watching one last night, weren't
Yeah,
we?
and they cut out his entire.
his entire
stand-up
like
bit.
the point of Alexi Sale was to just be in here for the
it's
middle.
bizarre, yeah. Well, no, literally, hang on, I'm going to pause it now.
He's supposed to
Like-
be in there for the middle section to just throw in like random sections of bollocks and then come back to the storyline.
Whoever edited, I mean, the thing is, like last night we were watching an episode with Madness in, weren't we?
That's right, yeah.
And I actually thought, I didn't notice it, so they must have edited it quite professionally, that if you didn't know the song very well, you wouldn't really notice.
See, whereas
So, but the thing is, it doesn't matter how adept they are, they're not thinking about culturally what they're doing to these episodes.
they've decided from A to B, right, big wigs, they've gone, I need to get from 35 minutes to 28 minutes. How am I going to do this? Okay, I'm going to cut out a whole verse of the Madness section. I'm going to cut out all of Alexi's... Fuck. All of Alexi's Sale. And I'm going to cut out X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And I noticed that because I noticed that... I said to you yesterday, like, there's a whole second
Yeah,
section...
I didn't realise that the Madness song had been
of the Madness song.
trimmed, yeah.
It just did... And when we watched on Amazon Prime...
Which hasn't been cut, thank God.
There it is. There's a whole 3 minutes And I know 3 minutes doesn't sound a lot,
And I
but
think
like,
the total was 7 or 8 minutes that they'd cut the episode down.
so there you
Now,
are.
fair enough. There was a section that is, we're not going to go into it, but there was a section in, it was the episode Boring, wasn't it, in the first series, with the policeman and the guy wearing the black gloves, that is very, very racially inflammatory, right, and politically incorrect. Now, the important thing to mention is
Yeah.
the target of the joke is the racist, not the victim. Okay?
It's supposed to be as racist as possible.
Yeah, it's making fun of racists and the particularly racist policemen. However, it's still not accept. They still wouldn't get away with broadcasting it.
It's not supposed
Regardless
to be
of the
taken
context.
acceptable. It's not supposed to be taken literally. It's
No.
just it'd be like if, you know, white people and black people just literally taking the utter piss out of each other,
Yeah.
as bad as possible.
It's
There
not.
we
It's
are.
nothing to do with context. It's you can't say these words
Yeah.
on television nowadays.
Well, you're not even allowed to say them, period. Like, you
No.
can't go up to this person and say, this is what you are.
No,
It's as bad as it can possibly be.
It's terrible. Yeah, I
In
mean,
a comment,
it's
in a
not.
comedic
It's not
sketch.
like what was that show? Love Thy Neighbour. Now, even Love Thy Neighbour,
Had its merits.
the butt of the joke was the racist rather than the black gentleman. But nevertheless, they would never get away with showing that
No
on
way.
television today because it's just
Not
you
a
can't even
chance.
say it, whatever the context is. So in this Young Ones episode, it doesn't matter what the context is. It doesn't matter that the butt of the joke is the racist. You still can't say those things on television nowadays. So
You
fair
can't say
enough.
those things, period. And I'd like to think that
And they
if-
butchered it,
Yeah.
but you kind of think, well, yeah, they wouldn't get away with showing it, so you may as well butcher it. But the Madness song, why would you take out 10 seconds of
Yeah, a
that
whole
song
second-
and then 10 seconds later on, just to say, I mean,
like,
it's-
why would you take out Alexis Sell's
Well,
like
yeah.
speech about like, you know, I'm not
Alexis-
really a funner, you know, like he just goes in,
It was
he
that-
drinks the fish tank and he goes.
yeah, it was the whole segment about him living in a high-rise flat, wasn't it? And hearing a sound like someone, like an elephant.
But that's
going
quite
around
pinnacle to the story when you think about it, because it takes away from where we are in the plot to kind of trudging on like real, not even real life, just like fake make believe life.
Well, no, the
of
problem
what,
for me is everything about the episode should be maintained, and in fact, you should find more of it if there is stuff in existence, because it's just a cultural heritage thing. If it's offensive and you literally cannot broadcast it, then okay, maybe you have to
Have
take
a
it
warning.
out. Or have a warning. Yeah.
have a fucking warning. The Disney
But
Plus,
cutting
right?
it down for, I mean, presumably they've shown it on the BBC, like on BBC Two or BBC One. They
Yeah.
must have done.
Do you think there's
Because if it's just on iPlayer, you don't need to cut down the running time.
there's no way, right? There's some young kid who's never been exposed to this kind of cultural racism before, who's suddenly sitting there going, this is the first time I'm ever watching this, and watching that is an entirety and thinking, that's okay. They need to just be open their eyes to think, you know what? There's a point where we're going to take the piss out of you, or whoever, and it's okay. But that's the point. It is okay. Because it's just fun and it's not meant to be anything. And
No, it's making fun out of the people who are terrible, out of the racists.
exactly.
It's not making fun out of the victim. If you start making fun of victims, like rape victims, like victims of race hate and stuff, then you're doing something seriously
you're
terrible.
basically a
or wrong.
Nazi, yeah. But if you're taking the piss out of the Nazis or whatever,
But I can see why they're doing it, because even if the BBC don't agree with this kind of censorship, they know full well if they broadcast that, like in its entirety, that scene we're talking about, people will immediately say, "You can't do that. It's terrible."
mate, Ofcom would just be off the rails.
Yeah,
It's just
which-
not worth the phone calls.
Whether
They just
you
need
agree
to
with
be-
it or not, it's going to happen.
all they need to
so
do
you may as well edit
is
it.
put a little substitute on top of it or whatever
Well,
it
they
is.
did. Remember, they did last night. There is a notice at the start of the episode saying this episode contains discriminatory.
So
behaviour.
don't cut it. Like Disney
Well, no,
done the
but
same
that's
thing.
it. They had to cut it, and then the stuff that they kept in, you had to put that warning in front of. 'Cause
bollocks
it's still
to it.
discriminatory.
Bollocks to it. I was with my 2-year-old son the other week, right? And we watched Robin Hood, the animated version, and clear as day, the first thing that comes up is this basically says life was not okay at this point. There's a lot of racial stereotypes and
Robin
this-
Hood.
Yeah, the
In the
animated
Disney
version.
one?
Yeah. It basically says that this is shit that should not have gone down. Like there's a lot of like sensory stuff. There's smoking. There's this and this. but they play the film in its entirety,
Okay.
and that is okay.
Yeah.
Because it talks about, you know,
It did
Prince
with
John being,
Faulty Towers.
Exactly.
Faulty Towers, they started putting the warning in front of it, but I think they kept the entirety.
And that's okay. If you put the warning there, it kind of says, you know what, if you're not ready to watch this, all right, let's back up.
It's saying this is historically how it was. We don't agree with it nowadays, but that's how it was originally broadcast.
Yeah, just
that's how attitudes were.
Please accept what we're giving you as a laugh.
But I think in
this, offended. But this just takes the piss.
In this
They
Young Ones episode,
5
they
minutes.
thought. I reckon that someone was sitting there on the editing station thinking, "Oh, great. This is racially inflammatory. This is a great opportunity for me to get 2 minutes off.
No, this is my job.
That'll get me closer to the 30-minute threshold.
Yeah, I'll be so good. I'll be able to move on to fucking, like, you know,
but
ER.
But what I don't understand is if this was shown on BBC Two and or BBC One and they absolutely had to have half-hour episodes, I can kind of see it. But if they but this is so old. Why would it be so important?
You might as well.
I thought this was only going to be put onto iPlayer because it was the anniversary.
You might as well
that's
like.
That's what I think it is. So why did they cut it?
You might as well cut everything. You might as well cut Blackadder. There was no World War II. So there's no Nazis. Therefore, the whole episodes, the whole series, just like it's Blackadder going, what? You might as well cut Bottom because you can't have the homeless. You can't have.
So yeah, so many things you cut, and they'll get to a point where nothing is original.
What about the real McCoys? What about Father Ted? What about Goodness Gracious Me? That's also racial stereotypical because that's all like, you know, the real McCoys is all based around the well, they had the JCB, wasn't it? It was what was it? They had the Jamaican overdub, didn't they?
Oh, for Doctor Who.
Yeah, for Doctor Who and for Dad's Army, and you know, and then Father Ted was taking the piss out of the Irish, and obviously, Goodness Gracious Me was about the Indians.
I don't know. Father Ted was taking the piss out of the Irish. If it's the Irish doing it, they're just being
self-aware,
self-referential.
But it's the point. Like, you should not be.
Yeah, there's a fine line between politically correct and freedom of speech.
But there's no, except for maybe Little Britain. There's no real, you can't properly take the piss out.
Piss, you're definitely drunk.
You can't take the piss out of the English properly because it comes out as too BNP, so to speak. Like, it's awful, and I get that. I'm totally with that. Like, that's fine because I think we've come to a point in history where it's not okay to talk about that sort of stuff. But it's all right to acknowledge it. It happened.
Yeah, you can acknowledge that it was terrible in the past.
You should just acknowledge it, not accept it, but acknowledge. That's the point I'm trying to make.
The problem is when you try to hide it and try to pretend that it never happened. Like, pretending that there was no slavery or pretending that there was no real
exactly.
racism.
You can't pretend that these things didn't happen.
If you erase it because you think you're being politically correct and you deny that it ever happened, then you're telling new generations that it never happened at all.
You're faking history.
Everything's always been fine.
Yeah.
But it hasn't always been fine. And they
you
need
can't
to know
have
that it's
a
been...
history where it's fine. It doesn't work like that.
People need to know
we had
mistakes.
atrocities and we had good things like, you know, the British Empire. British Empire was really bad. When you think about it, like,
Terrible.
it took the Caribbean islands. Hong Kong, like, we only gave back Hong Kong in the 90s. We gave back Hong Kong in the 90s.
I know, that's bad.
That is ridiculous.
And what we did in Africa, that was terrible. That was awful.
Absolutely
India.
ridiculous. Exactly. Gandhi and all that. We went on crusades, like, and apparently that's okay.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not okay.
Say what we did and keep
Just
saying what
go
we did
with
so that
it.
we can learn from it. But don't try and erase it or not talk about it because it's like that's helping. That's making the problem.
You don't find, like, I'd love to find out how German schools learn about history in their curriculum. Like, do they kind of go on about the same, you know, stuff that we do? Like how, you know, the Germans did this and there was Stalingrad and this and that.
Yeah, I imagine they do. I imagine they're quite.
I'd like to think that they were so on board with what they did that, and they kind of go, this was a bad thing. But
yeah,
because it's Germany, you'd like to think they kind of just like pulp it up a little bit, like, oh yeah, maybe this didn't happen, or maybe that was kind of like, yeah, we brushed that aside, and maybe I don't really know. Like, I've never met a German kid who's done that. Do you know what I mean? But like, It'd be like the
Be
war in
interesting
Ukraine.
to know.
Like, can you imagine years to come when they kind of talk about how Putin and Russia invaded Ukraine and this and that? Are we going to talk about the atrocities that are happening now, or are we going to talk about how it was just a big fuck up and it was fine?
Well, it's not over, isn't it? So we need to wait.
It's,
Be interesting. I need to pause it now because I need to go to the toilet.
no, I need the toilet too.
What are we doing? The young ones? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think we've been talking about. Fuck! It's 6 o'clock.
Oh, Christ. I'm not doing that shot. I'm singularly not doing that shot. I'm going to end up being too drunk. But you carry on. What? I'm not doing it. I'm going to be too pissed. God. Alright, fuck it. Oh, that's horrible.
Good lad.
Okay, let's finish this video.
I can't believe we're actually doing a video. This was ridiculous. I thought we were just doing a segment. What the fuck?
Now we're doing the whole video. So we'll carry on.
Do you remember when everyone asked for this? No. I mean, look at him. Again, racist. This is fascism. This is policeism. This is
Armyism, military.
this is nonism. It's nonsense. Absolutely. Oh yeah, I could do that. I can do that too. Here we go. Look, we're trying to be good. We're fists apart, but we've been drinking since 12, but it's
Fuck me. Okay.
20 past 6. It's okay because we're having a good time.
Aren't you Benito Mussolini, Emperor of Abyssinia and former dictator of Italy? No.
But he looks
what
like
can
him.
I do for you? Oh yeah, when it's about joining the police.
It just happens to have a full uniform there.
Oh, for sure you are, for sure. Hey, there's only one thing you need to know to be a policeman, you know? Really, one thing you have to do, you have to be able to go... You know, like, for when you are talking into your radio, you know?
I just remember this is the Steve Illich episode as well, isn't it?
Oh no! Steve Hillage! Oh, we gotta do that. We gotta do that. That's brilliant.
That's right, that's right. Now you practice going, and if you don't get it right, I kick your head in. Ashes.
See?
Okay, now, here is the uniform.
Yeah.
Take that with you.
Because
and
it's
as you go out,
one fit uniform, obviously.
Yeah, it's obviously gonna
I mean, the
fit him.
geezer's quite tall. Special branch.
I don't see what's so special about that.
I've got a degree in computer science. That's what.
Yeah, that's quite special.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, not gonna argue with that.
Looking like Mussolini, you know.
But they
See,
cut this out. of
Yeah,
the
I was
video.
just gonna say it, but the BBC is just like, no. Basically, eliminate
Dancing away, right, you know, in the
Alexis Hale.
twist, you know.
Sorry. Acid reflux and all that.
Yeah. Are you Mussolini?
John.
No.
Alright, so
I thought you was dead. I said no, it was just mistake.
we day off, yeah.
So she pulled me over the dance floor and butted me in the face. I said, what's that for? She
That's
said,
invader the Crete.
Lee Corns there, who's now no longer with us.
What's in the corns?
Lee Corns, he was Dick Head in Bottom.
Oh, was that him?
Yeah, and he was in Filthy Rich and Catflap. An episode.
whenever people bother me, they shout and raise their voices. I don't let it get me down. I just make some stupid noises. I go.
I don't quite understand Alexis Sale's role in this series. Like, I know he was just like thrown in there for randomness, right? Wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this. But do you feel like maybe a lot of it was too forced? Like he was just in every episode for the sake of it.
Maybe.
Like if you was to throw Alexis Sale in there, like
Thing is,
one or two or even three episodes, like oh yeah, that's quite funny. Like Dr. Martin's Boots, for example. But this is just sort of like he's got too much limelight. It doesn't.
but he was considered one of the cast, though. Because you remember the episode Nasty? It says the young ones, and it has silhouettes of all 5 of them. So
And then
he's
he was
technically
there.
classed
Yeah,
as
yeah,
one
you're
of them.
right. Yeah.
So he is one of the young ones, even though everyone just thinks it's the 4 of them.
It just feels like they drift away from him as if he's like his own entity, and he's got his own comic sketch, and it's
It's
the
like
Alexi
it's just
Selma
him
show.
and then the 4 of them.
Yeah, like it just feels like he's a bit too
but
much.
I mean, like I said, you can't take if you edit him out of it. It's not the young ones. Then.
I don't know. See,
I don't think it would work.
if you came in as a young kid just to watch the young ones, to watch the 4 of them go on about their shit, would you miss Alexi Selma?
No, if he was edited out and you gave it to someone to see for the first time, you'd never notice the absence of him.
That's the point.
But that's not the point for me. That's the original thing. The original young ones is them and Alexi Sale. So yeah, you could get away with editing out of it, but it wouldn't be the young ones. Then. It would be for them, the person who'd never seen it before. But
No, you're pretty sure. Yeah.
From a cultural heritage point of view, it's.
I just feel like they gave him too much. I guess too much limelight. Maybe.
Oh, I don't know. Well, he doesn't get any. He gets a lot less limelight than the other characters.
That's me,
Right.
Hello.
Here I am.
Well, I'm outside.
Where's that radio he's got? It's got a massive red button.
Everything's really mellow.
Everything's really mellow.
Yeah, because
what I
naturally
like to
that's
hear.
just the way that things go.
Classic police.
Right, it's too loud in
Get
here.
around there, smash the place up, and arrest everyone.
Oh no, Stevie Leeds. Yeah, have a bang on this one, man.
The latest sciences.
Yeah, because naturally you throw
There's
a
a lot
fucking
of
chef in the
songs.
window.
There's a lot of songs that occur in this series that you wouldn't realise they were there because they're in the background. You
To
make a
honest.
really long playlist of young ones.
Yeah,
It's the pigs.
even just like the scenes that go on, like obviously you've got Motorhead, you've got Madness, you've got
Yeah, you've got the obvious ones, but then you've got the background music, like in the party episode as well. There's like at least 2 or 3 songs like that. It's my party.
9 Below Zero. Like you would not have realistically heard from them
No.
unless you'd heard from this. Like that's all right.
It's a good song actually. That 9 Below Zero.
Yeah, it's not that and the BBC edited that because they were like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, solid. There's no. It was easy to edit that out because there's no interruptions like with them. It's just like that long performance.
It just cuts it out.
So they
Yeah.
thought, great, just cut out that 4 minutes. Brilliant.
Bollocks.
But that's.
But if you try cutting out Motorhead, there'll be a riot. Because it's Motorhead!
Well, we don't know. They haven't cut that out yet.
Have they not?
I don't know. I haven't checked yet.
Oh,
I haven't
fuck.
watched the BBC version, but I would hope not because I mean that would be difficult.
Take the tit off your head.
It isn't safe. Take your stashes. It's not safe here.
Well, it's safe here. This house is built on a lava.
Says who? Listen, Stonehead.
Stonehead.
Everybody, right? You
Listen it.
Right, listen. Oh no.
He realised he's made a mistake there.
They'd be like hitting off Jimi Hendrix, they just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it's their cultural icon.
Oh no, the Who.
Can you read me? This is Starship Captain Warlock from the planet Freakout, broadcasting to you on the intellectual galactic airwaves. Can you read me, Earth?
Nigel from EastEnders then?
Yeah, we were.
No shit. Is that really Nigel?
Yeah, it's Nigel. Yeah.
You would never fucking notice, would you?
Yeah.
Look at him! With his big hair and his...
Look, she's still smiling. She's being whacked with a truncheon.
I'm sorry, is that seriously Nigel?
Yeah, like, obviously it's going back a while, but yeah.
I can't even recognise him. Like, even when I look at him. No.
Yeah.
Raw flush,
You're talking about...
5 aces and a jack.
No.
As in,
I'll show you
married to
afterwards.
Janine.
Janine, was it?
Why don't we play something like
I can't remember. He had a daughter for a while with.
Oh, no, wait, yeah, I'm probably getting ahead of myself. Nigel.
1 flag.
Please show me afterwards.
Yeah.
Trousers.
Trousers.
Nothing rather strange to me that
people with an R in their name were only allowed one car.
Look how big his stomach is. Like they've really taken this
How
element
could that be a
of
farce?
nonsense
That's
to the
ridiculous.
furthest, and they've really gone for it.
We got no food, we got no heat, we got no light. Now I've got a wacky great splinter up my bottom. Neil, Ricky, I've got everything sorted. So you've got everything sorted, have you, Mike? But what have you sorted? I suppose you've arranged for a massive, great articulated lorry loaded with money and food and everything we need to come smashing through the front windows, have you?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Well, what can I say? It's like when Bambi says, he's like, "Don't worry, I've got Bambi the Baby Show commercials," and you think it's utter bollocks. He's like, "Yes, well, my life collapsed after Bambi." Like this geezer, this
collapsed after
blonde
Bambi.
man, human man,
Used
just
to be
like-
animated.
an animated foal.
Bad enough that it used to be a foal, but it used to be an animated foal that someone drew. I mean, how does that make sense?
And then he went on to do Disney Nasty. Where he...
Jesus Christ. Porno Disney. Oh no, wrong head.
Oh no. Even then, he's breaking in like, what?
Yes, thank you very much, little old man. Have a
Go
nice
away.
summer's Monday. Go away quickly.
Well, all this was a piece of luck.
Yeah, an absolute piece of luck. Look at the state of him. How did they set that up with the fire?
The actual Mona Lisa
Like,
as well.
it's just as well like getting money, but they've got full-on household equipment.
Desperation, the guys must have turned into experienced furniture thieves. Right. Okay, freeze. This is a rave.
What's the champagne?
Just button your lip, chummy. You're on my manor and we've tumbled your game.
Come on, Neil, pull up the chaise longs.
There's going to be no chaise longs where you're going, Mikey boy. I hope you'll all come quietly.
On the chaise longs all day long. On the chaise
Ow, ow. No, baby.
longs. Get the still.
I mean, look how big his stomach is.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, if we're taking a fart seriously, they've really gone to town with it.
I know. Jesus Christ. That would fill a whole house.
All of this was just because Vivian said he was having the baby. Look at the state of him.
I'm suffocating. Oh.
I mean, you'd be dying.
Jesus
That is
Christ.
perforated gut gas.
Serious gut gas.
Congratulations, Bill. Well, what have we got, a boy or a girl?
Gee, fuck. Yeah, because methane would explode. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a Alexa
there he is,
cell.
yeah.
It's bollocks.
Mark Card and Stephen Frost, that's the two that do their sketches.
It's nonsense.
My name's Philip, and this is Tom.
Additional material Alexa cell. Like,
It's a
if they
stand-up,
took him
basically.
out, it'd just be fine.
No.
It would be.
No,
You
it
wouldn't
would
miss him.
work, but it wouldn't be fine.
You wouldn't miss him.
I wouldn't like it.
You would.
Ba 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 bran, ba 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 ba.
You only wouldn't like it because you've seen him. If you hadn't seen
Oh,
it,
if you'd
you
never
wouldn't
seen
miss
it, you wouldn't know, no. But that's not really the point.
Well, I guess that's the point of anything, really, isn't it? It's like if you'd never seen a clock before, you wouldn't miss time. But like, my point is like you wouldn't miss an XSL from the DVD. Look at that sick.
If you've never seen a clock before, you wouldn't miss time.
There's
It's interesting.
philosophy there, sure.
Oh, I don't know how long these videos have been going on for. I mean, too long, obviously.
There's no way you're gonna edit this.
No, it's
No
gonna be,
way. It's gonna be a 5-minute video.
It's going to be an hour long, easily. Yeah, I'm going to need a week, I think, to edit this. Christ. I mean, I'm drunk. I'm seriously drunk, but not as drunk as you are. You're
fine.
steaming.
I'm fine.
I
Fucking gassed.
know. So the what was the point of this?
I don't know. It was your idea.
Oh, okay. My fault then. Well, I mean, it's interesting to do react. I mean, we did talk. I think we did.
I think we hit some points that needed to be addressed.
Yeah, the cutting of the BBC's cutting of the Young Ones episodes. I think it was
unacceptable.
Yeah, I think it was good to talk about that because it's really. I just imagine someone really young, and I'm not criticising them, but I imagine someone young in the BBC being put in charge of editing these episodes, not necessarily knowing these episodes, and being told, look, you need to get these down to half an hour each.
See,
and
that's the bollocks part of it. That is literally like, you need to shave 5 minutes off.
Yeah, but you don't. I mean, like I said, if they're broadcasting it for the first time, then okay, it has to be half an hour. But these are classic episodes, and they're going on to iPlayer. I don't think they're even showing them on BBC One or BBC Two.
Yeah.
If you're putting them onto iPlayer, just keep them as they are.
There is no person sitting out there kind of goes, do you know what? I'm going to search the young ones, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to watch this. Oh my god, this is super offensive. I can't watch this. Like, yeah, that's the BBC going too far, too quickly, too soon. To sort of say
it's not even the
might offend someone.
They cut out that song out of the first episode.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
and they
it's
just trim stuff from sketches that's not even offensive. It's just like it's just trying to get it to half an hour any way possible, and you're just ruining it.
Yeah, I mean, even if you take away the element of ruining it, like, why bother? Who woke up in the morning to sort of say, let's make the executive decision to cut the young ones by 5 minutes? If each episode is 35, like, no one thought that this is my idea. What did you do this week? Oh yeah, by the way, I cut the young ones by 5 minutes. Like, yeah, it's fucking achievement unlocked. You get the gold skull. Like, no, just leave it alone. What are you gonna do next? Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to say the Queen's speech can't air? Because why not? It's nonsense. Like, there's no correlation between the two. It's bollocks.
Yeah, it's sad, but but anyway, I'll make something. I'll try and edit something out of this video. The important thing was that we did that sketch with the guy who ate the fish tank. That's
Just remember, everyone, that the one thing you noticed was this nipple. Look at that. It's right there. How is nipple that large?
It's not large. It's a normal size.
Oh yeah, yeah. When my nipple was that big, nope, can't see it. No, it's because look at it. It's
not
right
big.
there.
It's not like a man. It's not like a move or anything. It's flush.
We went to Tesco earlier, right? We were in a frozen aisle. Let's be honest, some chicken. It's great. And there was a woman, and she was, and they were.
I'm just going to edit this out. You can say what you like.
Please edit that. I don't want that in there.
Good.
That's fine.
It's not going to be in there, don't worry. Why would it be?
It's too angry.
No.
That's fine.
Okay, so I think we'll stop this here. So this 2-hour video will be available sometime soon.
Nonsense.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. We digress, but that's what we want to portray.
You won't catch either of us with our trousers. No matter how hard you try.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Johannes. Yeah, so I was delighted when we were able, when I was head of the School of Arts, to be able to to get this building, because it was the engineers wanted it, and as you may know, Brunel University is very famous, has a wonderful engineering faculty.